Poetry Fest. We're so excited to let you know we exist. Stay tuned for highlights from our first poetry conference contest. If you are a fan of poetry, we know you'll love watching our poets recite their winning poems, including Beatrice Small, our first poet laureate and winner of our $5,000 grand prize. And what's nice about all this, you're welcome to enter our current poetry contest yourself. It's free to everyone, and there are no rejection slips. One of the goals of Poetry Fest, our new nonprofit organization, is to discover new poets and help them find an ever-widening audience for their poetry. So sit back and enjoy what we like to call the Upstart Crow Show. That's what Shakespeare's first critic thought of him. And now, our host, Alicia Rodriguez.
Do you all plan to come back next year? Oh, good. Okay, here he is, John Campbell.
Since we've got 20 third prize winners, I'm going to read them off one by one in no particular order. Third place winner, Mary Ann Lakovich. Her poem, Treasure.
I'm Mary Ann Lakovich from Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin. Before I read my poem, I have to say I so much appreciated meeting you. You're such kind people, poets, and I can't say enough for the kindness of the people who have run this event. I thank Lavender, Betty Starr-Joyal, who wasn't here, and I've been delighted to meet Mr. John Campbell and Mark and Mike Kasper, and I just thank you all so much. So this is my poem, Treasure. The universe speaks defiance against darkness and offers untouchable stars, uncatchable meteors, an infinity of unfathomableness. Planet Earth speaks life in discovered and undiscovered forms, beyond comprehension, harmonious in conception. Man chooses to acknowledge his greatest treasure, his creator, or to deny his existence, demanding self-destruction. Ah, to be flung into the embrace of divinity like an unknown star, to know love. Thank you.
Thank you for your kind words, Mary. If you'd like to meet Mary or other poets like her, begin by sending us a poem. It's fun, it's easy, it's free.
I'm David Prince Hufford from Omaha, Nebraska. Listening over the mountain. I'm going over the mountain. After many deeps and valleys, there my voice will abide. We will listen and listen and listen. I'm going over the mountain. I've been discovering the distance between sand and tiny stars. See, there are many ancient rocks. After many deeps and valleys, I can sing that there may be worlds I never knew. But I have seen what I have seen, and know a drop of rain will magnify the world. My voice will abide in the memory forever. We may or may not have left words for the future. We climbed, if only for a view of the rain. I ask you to rejoice with me. Rejoice. We will listen and listen and listen to the crashing of many ancient rocks, A drop of rain will magnify the world. Rejoice with me. Rejoice. 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 Thank you.
We make entering our free contest simple. Send a poem to Box 21, Talent, Oregon 97540, or enter online at Poetryfest.TV.
My poem is entitled Time, Looking Back. There was a time, not long ago, when I was a pretty young thing. I laughed and danced as young girls do. Oh, I could even sing. But looking back on life itself, it seems like yesterday. And yet each day has left its mark to ponder on today. I remember my first day at school, excited, yet afraid. Pretty new dress, brand new shoes, hair done up in braids. My wedding day was special, excited, yet afraid. We knew the love we shared would take us to our graves. The children brought love with them, worry, death, and pain. Without God's help to guide me, I could not have stood the strain. Each child has a special place in my heart and hand, to watch them grow to find their place in this promised land. I gather up the memories and hold them in my heart. Each hour, day, and year will always be a part. The laughter and the silly, the hard times and the sad, the blessings and forgiving. Oh no, it wasn't all so bad. I turned to look in the mirror today that's hanging on the wall. I don't see that pretty young thing. She's somewhere down the hall.
If you're a little nervous about sending a poem, remember, we do not send rejection slips. We believe that a poet, no matter how exalted, works better under a spirit of approval than criticism.
Hello, I'm Heather Worley. My poem is Path of Life. It goes, blackest night and brightest moon, filled with stars, chase out the gloom. Day turns night and night turns day, and so we walk all separate ways. What a complex web these lives we lead. Things can change if you plant a seed. Minds they grow and people change. Sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it's strange. I look to the future and wonder away just what is in store for me each day. Deep blue sky and bright, bright sun. Is this chance the only one? People rushing to and fro to change the future that we know. Days will pass and weeks fly by until we stop to see what's right. Night to day and day to night, on we press this path of life.
If you're just tuning in, you're listening to poets read their winning poems at our first ever conference in Reno, Nevada. Next time we could meet in your city. Now, you send us a poem.
I'm Mary Stoddard from Marion, Iowa, and the title of my poem is Christmas Past. I often think back and stop to remember how it was in years past in the month of December. The cities were alive with the sound of bells ringing. There were nativity scenes and carols for singing. There were presents to wrap, cookies to bake, cards to address, and costumes to make. The churches and schools had children's plays to honor the baby in a manger of hay. They told of the wise men who followed the star and the angels that shouted the news near and far. The world decorates and lights up a tree and will not believe what they cannot see. But it is the world's choice to reject the Christ story, but leave us our freedom to give God the glory. We must stand up for Jesus to restore Christmas past, so the Christmas message through the ages will last. Let nativity scenes be again on display, and Merry Christmas will be the greeting we say. Keep Christ in Christmas must be our prayer, so we may continue his story to share.
When you enter a poem in our contest, you enter a world of happy poets. We do everything we can to help you find an ever-widening and loving audience for your poetry. You'll see.
Wilfred Robert Godwin from Hot Springs, Arkansas. My poem is titled Handy. The man showed up one day, no one knew from where, but from where he came, no one seemed to care. He gave no name, and no one ever did ask. But if any needed help, he was up to the task. He walked with a limp, no one asked the cause. If any seemed to stare, he would not even pause. Some wondered where this man did sleep, for very odd hours he always seemed to keep. He had knowledge and skill, all could plainly see, and he worked for all, would not charge a fee. They called him Handy, for they knew no other name. He answered to all, for to him all names were the same. He knew the town as though he had been here before, from houses and lots and every store and more. Then one day someone remembered his face from the past. Could this really be he? Could he dare of him to ask? Could he be this poor man's son who went away to war? The one who received those medals, the Silver Star and the Purple Heart. It came because he was shot in his leg. He may have suffered, but he never did beg.
You are listening to poets who attended our first ever conference in Reno, Nevada. Our contest grand prize winner is coming up, so be sure to stay tuned. She celebrated her 90th birthday with us.
My name is Estella I. Kennedy from Jacksonville, Florida. The title of my poem is Lasting Impression. There is not a second chance. Think constructively, way in advance. The last impression is really the first, and please don't try to put it in reverse. Before you leave your loved home, check the mirror before you roam. Talk to the person standing there. I will be making lasting impression everywhere. Put a smile on your face and a prayer in your heart. And never, never let it depart. As you travel near and abroad, there will be joy wherever you trod. The mind is a human computer. Make sure you are not a polluter. Clean up your talk before you speak, and you won't have to hit delete.
We make entering our free contest simple. Send a poem to Box 21, Talent, Oregon 97540, or enter online at Poetryfest.TV.
My name is Rebecca Corkran, and I'm from Navasota, Texas. My poem is Tonight I'll Walk Alone. Tonight I walk alone. My heart is broken like shattered glass. This wasn't supposed to happen. The illness, doctors called it stage 4 lung cancer. Aggressive treatment, disastrous side effects. The doctor said, I'm sorry, there's nothing more we can do. Home from the hospital with hospice. Next came the coma, and 2 days later you were gone. Everything was like a blur. It happened so fast. We always thought we would have more time together. I'm left with a lifetime of memories of a sweet, gentle man who filled my life with joy. For 44 years, we were bound together, heart, body, and soul. I must accept the reality that everything has changed and nothing will ever be the same again. I know that I must move on, that I cannot dwell in the past. Tomorrow, I will move on, but for tonight, I'll walk alone.
When you enter a poem in our contest, you enter a world of happy poets. We do everything we can to help you find an ever-widening and loving audience for your poetry. You'll see.
My name is Regina Jung. I'm from Colorado Springs, Colorado. The title of my poem is My Nature. The intrinsic character of me, an interior restless urge to be on the go, other places to see. Traveling is for me. Daydreaming, planning ahead with open eye and ear, ever ready to go, by horse, car, train, bus, ship, or aeroplane. I did it all, shore to shore, and yet yearn for more. Every country to see. It's the gypsy in me.
If you're just tuning in, you're listening to poets read their winning poems at our first ever conference in Reno, Nevada. Next time, we could meet in your city. Now, you send us a poem.
I'm Cynthia Balcom. I'm from McHenry, Illinois. The title of my poem is Condemned. I was once upon a time a happy home. I've been standing on this parcel of land for many years. I know not my age. I've lost track of time, and time has forgotten me. I didn't always look like this, weather-worn and broken down. The roof didn't leak. My walls were strong. The wooden planks that make up the floor were not warped or cracked. Rust has eroded the wood-burning stove that once filled this room with wonderful aromas. The fireplace that kept me warm is dark and stone cold. Only ashes from the past remain in its hearth. I am just a shell of what I was once, and I am sad. No one can ever enter into my door again. Condemned signs are posted. It's only a matter of time. Men will come, tear down my walls. Perhaps I'm in a picture somewhere when I was in my prime. I hope I will be remembered time after time.
One of the nice things about Poetry Fest is that we exist to help poetry, the Cinderella of the arts, find her glass slipper. We love poetry, and we love the poets who write it.
My name is Patty Bruyere, and I'm from International Falls, Minnesota. My poem is titled Life's Chapters. Chapters in life are like the seasons, spring, summer, fall, and winter. With struggles and perseverance, I got through the fall, only to face winter, the last chapter of all. I can't look back to days gone by, so I look ahead, and I count my blessings instead. I sit by the campfire at the end of the day, watching the smoke drift up and away. A train whistle echoes across the bay, so lonesome it sounds as it fades away. The sound of the loons pierce the stillness of the night, and shadows dance in the campfire light. There's a ruby in the setting sun, and silver in the moon so high. Stars appear and twinkle like diamonds in the sky. The breeze softly whispers while the sapphire blue water rustles by. I sit by the fire till the embers burn low. Another day is gone, and I look forward to tomorrow. The dawn brings gold in the morning sun, and emeralds in the grass so green. Add good health, family, and friends. What more would I ever need?
You are in for a treat. Our next poet is the winner of our second place $2,000 prize. She couldn't be happier, as you can see, and our audience of poets just can't love her enough. Our $2,000 second prize winner. It sounds a little like Emily Dickinson. I'm nobody, who are you? No. This is even better. Am I a Poet? By Joyce Little. Oh, bless your heart. No greater joy is expressed than in tears.
Am I a poet? The sculptor molds of lifeless clay, a thing of beauty to behold. The artist clandestine of will sets forth on canvas many stills of faces unbeknown to us, of landscapes, myriads of colors, and to the composer of our songs, long gone by and present day, of music swelling like happy waves that catches for us so much of life's varied moods. And I, the poet, not with clay, or even pictured canvas cold, or music written by the score, compelled to feel, to say, to write, all these secret thoughts, so long, so dormant laid.
Oh, wonderful. Hold on to your quills. We'd like to present now our $5,000 grand prize winning poet crowned our first poet laureate. She celebrated her 90th birthday with us. And now for our grand prize winner, Beatrice Mills Small.
I come from Wisconsin, a little place called Liberty Pole, and I'm very happy to be here. And this is called Equality, tongue in cheek. I firmly believe in equality. I hate everybody the same. The healthy, the wealthy, the lovely, the crippled, the poorly, the lame. I don't want to miss anybody. There's blacks, whites, and yellows too. Indians and cowboys displease me. Gays are part of the crew. Christians and Jews offend me. Followers of Islam the same. Fat, skinny, and tall disgust me. To eliminate some is a shame. Many names I can't stomach. There's Hector, Mabel, and Ralph. I can't leave out anybody. I especially can't stand myself.
look forward to reading the poem you send us and welcoming you to our Poetry Fest family. Our conference headliner, noted actor John Campbell, leaves us with these words from Shakespeare. Our program is over. I'd like to leave you with a little poem, the very last thing that Shakespeare wrote. It is at the end of The Tempest, and it is him as Shakespeare writing this after the last production of his play, when he says, "And now my charms are all o'erthrown, and what strength I have's mine own, which is most faint. Now I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant, and mine ending is despair, unless I be relieved by prayer, that pierces so that it assaults mercy itself, and frees all faults. As you from crimes would pardoned be, let your indulgence set us free." They'll remain seated a few more minutes if you'd like to take pictures. And then we'll disband. We will fade into air. And here's what famed playwright Larry Maraviglia had to say about John Campbell's one-man show, The Shakespeare I Love. Who says learning isn't fun?
Yes. Larry, did you enjoy the show? I think John is probably, in my opinion, the finest interpreter of Shakespeare that we have in this country. I think he's second to none. He brings life, vitality, clarity, magnificent emotional landscape, and a lovely vocal quality to his work. He's really a dream Shakespeare performer. Absolutely, absolutely. I've seen his show many times and it never disappoints. Thank you, honey. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye, honey.
When you enter a poem in our contest, you enter a world of happy poets. We do everything we can to help you find an ever-widening and loving audience for your poetry. Send a poem to Box 21, Talent, Oregon 97540, or enter online at Poetryfest.TV.